Here are the video solutions for AQA Functional Skills Level 2 Maths, and this is paper 2, which is the calculator paper, and this is February 2020. Let's have a look at question number 1. So which point has the coordinates -2, 3? So remember, we go along the corridor and up the steps, so we're going along to -2 and up to 3, so therefore that is point A. Moving on to question number 2. So we need to work out this angle here, x. So first of all, we need to work out what this angle here is. Now, it's an isosceles triangle. We've been told it's isosceles. These two angles at the bottom are the same. So what is 180 degrees? The sum of the angles of any triangle is 180. If we take away the 36 degrees that we know, that is 144 degrees. So these two angles add up to 144 degrees. But since the angles are identical, then 144 degrees divided by 2, that tells us that these two angles are 72 degrees each. Now we've got a straight line here. Angles on a straight line add up to 180, so 180 degrees take away the 72 degrees is 108 degrees. So x here is 108 degrees. Question number 3. We want to draw the elevation of the cuboid in the direction of the arrow. So if we're looking at it from the front here, then all we are going to see is this rectangle here. So it's 5 along the bottom and up 2. So we just need to draw a 5 by 2. Perhaps better if you use a ruler. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 2. There we go. And we are done. That's all you need to do. B, work out the total surface area of the cuboid. Okay, so what we've got here is the front is 5 by 2, and also the back is also 5 by 2. So let's write that down. So the front is 5 times 2, and we're going to double that because this is the front and the back. And 5 times 2 times by 2, that is 20. So we've done the front and the back. It's a bit annoying, we keep having to scroll backwards and forwards here. So here, let's call this the right hand side. So 4 by 2, and also the left hand side, which we can't quite see, which would be here, that is also 4 by 2. So two 4 by 2s, so 4 times 2 times by 2. 2 4s are 8 times 2 is 16. So just to make a note that these are the two sides. And finally, we've just got the top and the bottom. So the top here, this is 5 by 4, and of course the bottom is also 5 by 4, so we've got two 5 by 4s. So 5 times 4 doubled, so we just scroll up a bit, that comes to 40. So the total surface area is going to be 40 plus 20, which is 60, plus 16, and that comes to 76 square centimetres. Okay, here is a tree diagram. What's the probability of red in event 1 and red in event 2? So the probability is 0.7 and 0.7 for event 2. So we need to remember that we multiply along the branches. So 0.7 multiplied by 0.7, that is 0.49. So that is the probability of red followed by red again. So 0.49. Okay, so we want to work out the volume of the cylinder. Now the volume of any three-dimensional prism, so a prism is just a three-dimensional shape that has consistent cross-section, which a cylinder does. The volume of a prism is the area of its face multiplied by its height or its depth. So what we've got here in this a cylinder is a circle. Now the formula for the area of a circle is pi r squared, so that's going to be multiplied by 7.5. So we'll use 3.142 for pi, or you can use the pi button on your calculator. The radius is 3.2, and the height, as we've already established, is 7.5. So if you multiply all of that together, we're going to get an answer which is 241.3056 cubic centimetres. Moving on to section B. So we are comparing two bike races, race A, which is here, and race B, which has been presented in a slightly different way. So first of all, we've been asked to compare the the averages. Now, first of all, range, that's just a red herring. It's got nothing to do with average. So let's work out the mean of this data here. So so that's going to be the total number of stars divided by the total number of people. Now the total number of people, we know that one person gave it 2 stars, one person gave it 3, 4 gave it 4, 6 gave it 5. So here the frequency is the number of people. 6 plus 4, 10, 11, 12. So there are 12 people. Let's just write down the total number of people, which is 12. So the total number of stars is, well, 1 lot of 2 stars, 1 lot of 3 stars, 4 lots of 4 stars, and 5 lots of 6 stars. So in total that is 2, 3, 16, and 30 stars. So the total number of stars given is 30 plus 16 plus 3 plus 2. Of course we can do all of this on the calculator, although you can do it in your head if you're comfortable. 30 plus 16 plus 3 plus 2 is 51. And so therefore the mean is going to be 51 divided by 12. And so mean 51 divided by 12, and that is 4.25 stars. So let's compare that to the mean. 4.25 is greater than 4.1. So on the mean, race B is looking pretty good. Now let's look at the median here. So for the median, we need to put them in order. So we've got 1 2 star, so we've got 1 2, we've got 1 3, we've got 4 4, so 1 2 3 4, and we have 6 5s. 1 2 3 4 5 6. So the median is the one in the middle. So I'll chop off the one on the left and the right. Do the same again. Do the same again. And again. And again. I was hoping to get 1 in the middle. I've got 2 in the middle, and that's because we've got an even number of values. So the median is exactly halfway between the 2 in the middle. So halfway between 4 and 5 is 4.5. So the median is 4.5, and I believe that was greater than the median of 4. So which race do they enter? They want to enter the race with the higher average review score. So therefore they need to enter race B. Okay, question 6b, quite a challenging one. So what has happened here is that the bike had a price before VAT, and then this price was increased by 20% to give it this new value of £708. So what would we multiply the price by if we're adding 20% on? Now the multiplier for 20% is 0.2 or 0.20 if you prefer, but that 0 doesn't need to be there. It's the decimal equivalent of 20%. So this is the multiplier we use if you're calculating 20% of an amount, but if we want to increase by 20%, we add 1 to this figure, so 1.2. So this is the multiplier we use to increase by 20%. So the original price, which is what we're trying to work out, was multiplied by 1.2 to turn it into 708. So therefore the original price would be £708 divided by 1.2, and that is 590. Can she afford the bike? Yes. Fran has £10 left over. Or yes, she can afford the bike. There we go. Tricky question, that one. Okay, so does Fran wait for more than 10 minutes? Well, first of all, we need to work out how long. We know how long Paul takes. How long does Fran take? Now, she cycles 60 kilometres at a speed of 15 miles per hour. So either we turn the kilometres into miles, or we turn the miles per hour into kilometres per hour. It really doesn't matter. So 1 mile we know is 1.6 kilometres. So I'm going to turn the kilometres into miles. As I said, you can turn, actually no, it might be more common, it really doesn't matter, but let's do 15 miles per hour into kilometres per hour. So that is just going to be 1.6 multiplied by 15, and 1.6 multiplied by 15 is 24. So that is 24 kilometres per hour. Now we know that speed is the distance divided by time. We want the time. Time is the distance divided by the speed. So that is 60 divided by 24, and 60 divided by 24 is 2.5. So the time taken is 2.5 hours. Now 2 hours is, so we just, probably the best thing to do here is turn this into minutes. 1 hour is 60, so 2 hours is 120 plus half an hour, so that is 150 minutes. And we know that Paul finishes the race in 167 minutes, so there is a difference of 167, take away 150, so therefore Fran needs to wait for 17 minutes for Paul to finish. So does Fran wait for more than 10 minutes? Well, the answer is, well, yes, she does. Okay, let's have a look at question number 7. Okay, so Lucas has got a budget of 50. He's spent £12.50, so what does he have left? Well, 50 take away £12.50 is £37.50. So what he's got now is £37.50 out of a total of 50. So this line in the fraction means divide. So on your calculator, 37.5 divided by 50, and your calculator might say 0.75, which is 3/4, or it might just say 3/4. So the fraction that he's got left is therefore 3/4. 7b. So we just need to be careful here because he eats 2 biscuits. Now this is one. He doesn't eat 2 of these. This contains 36 biscuits. So first of all, what do we need to do? We need to work out well, there's a few ways you could do this, I suppose. I'm going to work out the total sugar content for 36 biscuits. So 26.4 grams of sugar is for 100 grams in total, and we want 400. We know it's 450 grams in total, so that is 4.5 times more than 100. So therefore, we need to multiply the 26.4 grams of sugar by 4.5, and 26.4 times 4.5 is 118.8 grams, and that is sugar in the pack. Now we know that the pack contains 36 biscuits, so in one biscuit it's going to be 118.8 divided by 36, and that is 3.3 grams of sugar per biscuit. And he has 2 biscuits, so that's 2 times by 3.3, which is 6.6 grams. So what is the percentage of the MRDA, which is 30? So the final calculation is, well, what is 6.6 out of 30 as a percentage? 6.6 divided by 30 multiplied by 100, and that is 22. So the answer is 22%. Okay, Lucas looks at his car's petrol gauge and decides to fill up the tank. So notice it's not completely empty, it's 24%. So therefore he needs to put in 100%, take away 24%, which is 76%. Now the capacity is 70 litres, so what is 76% of 70? The calculation is 0.76 multiplied by 70. 0.76, that is the percentage multiplier for 76%. In other words, 76 divided by 100. And 0.76 times by 70 is 53.2 litres. So he's going to put 53.2 litres into the tank at a cost of that amount per litre. So the next calculation is 53.2 multiplied by 126.8, and that comes to 6,745.76, and this is pence. So to turn that into pounds, we are going to divide by 100, so that is going to be £67.4576. So I suppose we should round it to the nearest penny, so we're rounding to 2 decimal places, so we're interested in the 3rd decimal place, which is greater than 5, so I would round that up to £67.46. So for this question, we know that it's £120 per square metre. So what we need to do is work out the area of this shape here. Now it's a compound shape, so let's turn it into a rectangle and a triangle. So the area of the rectangle, well, that's nice and easy. That's 10.2 multiplied by 3.5, and that is 35.7 square meters. Now here we've got a triangle. We need to work out the height and the base of the triangle. Well, if the height of the whole thing is 10.2 and this distance here is 4.8, then 10.2 minus 4.8, that is 5.4 meters. So it's got a height of 5.4 and it's going to have a base of 6.5 minus 3.5, which is 3 meters. Now the formula for the area of a triangle is the base times the height divided by 2, so that's 5.4 times by 3 divided by 2, and that is 8.1 square meters. So the combined area is going to be, well, the overall area is 35.7 plus 8.1, and that is 43.8 square meters, £120 per square meter, so 43.8 multiplied by £120, that comes to a total of 5256. So that's our final answer, £5,256. Okay, in this question we know that it's going to take 3 workers 11 days. But we want the job done faster than that. We want it done in 7 days. Now, what I'm going to do is work out, well, if I only had 1 worker, how long would it take? If I've got 1 worker, that is going to take much longer, of course. So if 3 workers take 11 days, then 1 worker will take 3 times as long. So that is 33 days. Okay, so we want to know how many times smaller is, or how many times bigger is 33 than 7. Well, what is 33 divided by 7? 33 divided by 7 is 4.714. So we are dividing the number of days by 4.71. So if we are reducing the time by this figure here, then we need to increase the number of workers by that figure there as well. So we need 4.71 times as many workers, and 4.71 times by 1 is 4.71. It's 4.71428, but it doesn't really matter because it's a decimal, and obviously we can't have for the number of workers it has to be a whole number. 4 workers would not be quick enough, so we're going to have to round that up to 5 workers. So she would need 5 workers, so the number of extra workers, well, if she's got 3 already, well, that's simply 5 take away 3, which is 2 additional workers. So the answer is 2. Okay, question 8c. So, the driveway covers an area of 35.75. So, and 2 litres of coating will cover 1 square metre. So how many litres of coating do we need? Well, we're going to need 2 lots of 35.75, and 35.75 multiplied by 2 is 71.5 litres. Now, it's made by mixing sealant and water in the ratio of 3 to 8. So what that means is 3/11 is sealant and 8/11 is water. And is it 11ths because 3 plus 8 is 11. So 3/11 of 71.5 is sealant. So we need to work out 3/11 of 71.5. So what we do is we take our total, we divide it by the number on the bottom, and we multiply by the number on the top. And 71.5 divided by 11 multiplied by 3 is 19.5 litres. So that is the number of litres of sealant we need. It's sold in 1.5 litre bottles. So 19.5 litres divided by, let me scroll down a bit, divided by 1.5, and that comes to exactly 13. There we go, and that's the final answer, just as how many bottles. I thought it might ask what the cost was, but we don't know. So the answer is simply 13 bottles. Question 9. So what do we need to do first of all? use the scattergram with the extra data. So first of all, we need to plot these 2 points. So the distance from the city centre is along the bottom, the rent is up the top, so 250. So we're going across to 2 and up to 250, so that'll be halfway between the 200 and the 300, so approximately there. And 3.2, so we're going up in 0.1s here, so 0.1, 0.2, and 180. So 180, so we're going up in 20s on this side, so that will be that point there. Okay, so what we need to do here is work out, so Pete rents an apartment for 280 per week, and we want to work out, well, how far from the city centre must he be? So what we're going to do first of all is draw in a line of best fit. Now the line of best fit cuts through the data so that it's as close as possible to as many points, keeping an equal number more or less above the line and below the line. So for example, that would be terrible, that's too it's just too high, this is too low, so through the middle, something like that. If I ask 10 students to do a line of best fit, they might have 10 different lines, but they might all be fine, so it's not a one size fits all. There we go, so there is my line of best fit. So from this I'm going to go up to £280, so that's this line here, and draw a horizontal line until I hit the graph, or hit the line of the graph, which is about here. So my line's a bit thick, that's the only way I could draw it, unfortunately, but I would say that it looks like it's sort of coming down pretty much halfway between 2.5 and 3, so I would say that that is 2.75 kilometres. Of course, since people can do different lines of best fit, a range of answers would be acceptable here. Okay, let's take a look at 9b. I think this one's quite a challenging question. So first of all, we know the scale is 1 to 60, and the scale drawing is 15.9. So we're boosting up this ratio by 15.9. So therefore, the real life width of the wall is 15.9 multiplied by 60, which is 954 centimetres, or 9.54 meters. Okay, so the room is 9.54 meters and the height is 2.65. Okay, so we've got the dimensions of the wallpaper, which is useful, and the price. And the key thing is Pete is cutting this the rolls of wallpaper into length of 2.65 meters. Now, if the length of the wallpaper is 10.05, how many useful strips do we get in a roll? So how many 2.65s go into 10.05? 10.05 divided by 2.65 is 3.79, so therefore that is just 3 strips with quite a lot of wastage. So in a roll he's going to get 1, 2, 3 strips. Okay. So, how many rolls will he need? So we know we're going to get 3 useful strips per roll. Well, now we need to be thinking about the width. How many 0.53s go into 9.54? So 9.54 divided by 0.53 is 18. Okay, so therefore we need 18 strips needed. We know there are 3 strips in a roll, so 18 divided by 3 is 6 rolls. And what is the cost per roll? It's £13.85, so 6 multiplied by £13.85, and that comes to a total of £83.10. And on to the final question in this paper. This one's not too bad. There's a bit of converting we need to do. First of all, 1.5 meters is 1.5 meters, which is 150 centimeters. 2.25 meters is 2.25 meters, so 225 centimeters. So I guess knowing that a half is a 0.5 and a quarter is a 0.25 is a key bit of knowledge. And of course, knowing that to convert meters into centimeters, you were multiplying by 100. So the the three pieces of trunking added together is 150 plus 225 plus 90, and that comes to a total of 465 centimetres. Now he's got 15 feet. So first of all, we'll convert the feet into inches. So 15 multiplied by 12, that is 180 inches. And now you want to convert the inches into centimetres. 1 inch is 2.5 centimetres. So 180 inches is 180 multiplied by 2.5, which is 450 centimetres. So does he have, is it enough? Well, no, he's only got 450. He needs 465. So no, you can say he is short by 15 centimetres if you want. There we go, and that is the end of the questions.